Hi there, Sage from Double, and today we're going to be diving into our Expense Inconsistency Report. If you find this video helpful, leave a like and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below or reach out to us using the purple widget in the bottom right corner of your Double account. And lastly, check out the description of this video for helpful links and resources covering today's topic. Let's double down. The Expense Inconsistency Report shows you expense transactions in the current closing period that might be miscoded. This report looks at each expense in the current period, cross-references those against transactions in the past year, and flags potential anomalies. It works like a second set of eyes, giving you peace of mind and allowing you to efficiently make corrections as needed. As a reminder, Double is bidirectionally synced with QBO and Xero, so any changes you make in Double instantly sync back to the ledger. Additionally, every Double close page has access to 12 months of transactional data, and this allows you to run cleanups and, in the case of our Expense Inconsistency Report, use historical data as your guide. So let's go ahead and open up our report, which is found in the Transaction Review section of your close page. And this report looks at all transactions from the past month and cross-references them against your historical transactions to find any inconsistencies and how they were coded. If you'd like to edit the date range of time that you're reviewing, click into the drop-down here and select the appropriate option. Here you can see that we have a Facebook transaction, and at first glance, it's not clear why Doubles flagged it. Now the key is to click the drop-down arrow on the left-hand side to get more details. Now we can see the list of historical transactions going back 12 months, and in this case, we can see that in the past, the vendor, Facebook, has been coded to softwares and apps 100% of the time. However, here we can see that this time, in this month close, it was coded to advertising and marketing. We can easily correct it by clicking into the cell block and recategorizing it, and this will instantly sync that change back to QBO or Xero, and when we rerun the report, that transaction will disappear because there is no longer any inconsistency. Now, just because Double has flagged a transaction doesn't necessarily mean anything's wrong. Take this Amazon transaction, for example, which looks like it's correctly coded to softwares and apps. It's being flagged because in the past, Amazon's been coded to office supplies. Now, if Double flags a transaction that is actually coded correctly, no sweat at all, you can simply use the thumbs up icon on the right-hand side to mark it as reviewed, indicating that you've looked into it and there's no further update needed. On the flip side, maybe the current transaction's coded correctly, but you find an error when you drill into the historical transactions. You can also update those very easily by clicking into the appropriate cell block like this and searching for the correct option. So far, we focused on transactions coded to the same vendor but different accounts. This is where the report looks at transactions with matching vendors but inconsistent coding. But the report also has a second method of flagging discrepancies. It looks at transactions with matching descriptions that are assigned to different vendors. So let's take another look at Amazon. Here we can see the top line transaction for the October 14th line item is coded to softwares and apps. Now in the similar historical transactions list, we have a few transactions highlighted in yellow that are coded differently to office supplies, but we also notice that one of those transactions has a different vendor altogether, eBay. It surfaced because it matches the description of the other transactions, but has a different vendor. By default, we have the report set to filter to all, which you can see in this top right corner, meaning it shows discrepancies in both the vendor payee column and the split column. But if you prefer, you can review these separately by toggling between matching on payees or matching on descriptions in the top right of the report. Right next to these buttons, you'll see two other features that allow you to customize how the report is run. The Edit Excluded list allows you to exclude certain transactions that are clogging up the report that you don't need to review. And a good example might be any transactions related to payroll, because there's always multiple payees involved in those transactions. Anything you add to this excluded list will apply to each month going forward. Last pro tip for today, you also have a settings wheel within the report. If you or your client coded things very differently last year, and it's not relevant to how you code things this year, you can tell the report to ignore last year and only compare current transactions to year-to-date or fiscal year-to-date ledger data. This can also help really cut down on the number of transactions you need to review. And if you select year-to-date and rerun the report, you might notice that some of your transactions disappear because in 2025, they're all coded consistently. There was only a discrepancy between how they were coded last year versus this year. That's what we're going to call it for today. If you found this video helpful, leave a like and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below or reach out to us using the purple widget in the bottom right corner of your Double account. And lastly, check out the description of this video for helpful links and resources covering today's topic. See you guys in the next one.